A very wise man said, there is this huge world out there, independent of us human beings, and standing before us like a great eternal riddle. This wise man was Albert Einstein. A good scientist acknowledges first how much we don't know, yet still do our best to unveil a little piece of this world. Academic excellence is all about this journey of discovery for the benefit of all. I'm honored to be your master of ceremonies for this very meaningful inauguration of the Science Pavilion and tribute to the Edmund J. Safra Brain Research Center. My name is Sarit Larish. I'm a senior lecturer and the head of the Cell Death and Cancer Research Laboratory at the Department of Biology and Human Biology. I have completed my PhD studies at the Faculty of Medicine at the Hebrew University in Jerusalem and continue to do a postdoc at the National Institutes of Health, National Cancer Institute in Bethesda, Maryland, in the US. During my postdoc research, I have discovered a novel protein, which I termed ARTS, and I will tell you about its role in cancer and how this knowledge that we gathered allow us to start and develop novel anti-cancer drugs. All cells in our body have the ability to undergo cell death, a process which we term apoptosis or cell suicide. This is how it looks like. As you can see, in response to damage, mutations that can harm the cells, cells shrivel up and die. When this process is not functioning well, a wide range of diseases can arise. This process is very well programmed, it's monitored stage after stage, and in fact it works as a cascade, like a cascade, one step after the other. Cancer cells do not act properly. One of their main features is that they do not undergo cell death. They cannot kill themselves by this process of cell suicide. And that's how it results in proliferation of the cells and they're becoming cancerous. The protein that I have discovered during my postdoc studies, which I termed ARTS, was found to play a key role in initiating this programmed cell death. And it also turned out to play a major role in cancer initiation. In fact, when we looked at samples from cancer patients, from a wide variety of cancer patients, like leukemia, lymphoma, melanoma, liver cancer, and many other types of cancer, they all exhibited loss of ARTS, very low amount of ARTS, which allowed them to lose their ability to die and become cancerous. So if this is what happens, and this is what we know about many cancer cells, our idea was to restore nature's way of self-destruct in cells. And the idea was that if we put ARTS back into cancer cells, we will force them to undergo cell death and commit suicide. And during the past years since I came back, we have worked out the molecular mechanism by which ARTS initiates the cell death machinery. And just in short, we found that in response to a death signal, ARTS binds to other proteins that trigger activation of enzymes that destruct the cells. Moreover, we have found out exactly the site by which arts initiates that cell death. And the idea was that we make small peptides, nanomolecules, that mimic the function of arts. So that way we don't have to use the whole protein, but actually we use small molecules that mimic its killing functions. These small molecules bind to the inhibitors and initiate cell death in cells. Moreover, we found that these small nanomolecules penetrate to cancer cells, and in the concentration that they kill cancer cells, they do not harm normal cells. So we have the ability to target cancer cells and leave normal cells intact. So this short presentation was just to tell you that every idea that starts with a dot can get its outline, its flesh and bones, and become, with research efforts, with perseverance, and with support, it could really become a window to future knowledge, to future therapies. And just to summarize this in more specific words, what we do in basic research is essential for developing novel drugs that will help curing cancer as well as many other diseases. Thank you. And now I would like to begin our journey today with an introduction to two of the university's most outstanding facilities. These facilities are dedicated to scientific research, and their establishment has been made possible with the generosity and support of our friends. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome the Dean of the Faculty of Natural Sciences, Professor Gal Richter-Levin, to open this part of the ceremony.
In 1993, the Israel government has passed a dramatic decision. In order to increase the accessibility of Israel periphery to higher education, they approved the opening of colleges that would teach towards bachelor degrees. They also named the existing universities research universities, with the idea that only the universities will focus on graduate studies and research. This was a naive idea because from the beginning, colleges were not satisfied with just teaching towards a bachelor degree and strived to develop graduate studies and research. This development presented a serious challenge, particularly to the University of Haifa. As a university that focused until then mainly on humanities and social sciences, areas that could easily be developed also in colleges, and despite having really excellent scientists and departments here, the university found itself in competition with the new colleges instead of joining the competition with the other research universities. Thus, towards the end of the 90s, the University of Haifa management took a brave decision to develop infrastructure-based research at the university, the kind of research that will not be developed in colleges, the kind of research that will bring the university to compete not with colleges, but with research universities around the world. The Hebrew University, the Technion, the Weizmann Institute, they had about 100 years to develop infrastructure-based research. We are in this business for only less than 15 years. But we already have centers of excellence and top-level laboratories in life sciences, in marine sciences, but also in education and learning disabilities, in psychology and neuropsychology, in rehabilitation and virtual reality, in geography, environment, and more. Already, infrastructure-based research increased the university budget in a sustainable way, in a way that would allow the support also of other important areas such as poetry and philosophy. All this could not have happened without the support of friends of the university, like the support of the Sadowski family that we are to mark today, but of many others, including many people who are sitting here. So, with warm thanks for past and present support, and with hope for future support, we will proudly continue developing our university as a state-of-the-art research university. Thank you very much.
The University of Haifa is honored to have supportive, long-standing, and dedicated friends in many countries around the world. Thanks to the generosity of the Friends of the University, the state-of-the-art Science Pavilion has been established to enable us, the university's scientists, to conduct the highest standards of research that is being recognized by the international community. It is an honor to ask our dear friend Marvin Sadowski of Canada to the stage to receive a certificate of appreciation.
I'm supposed to read it first.
Please do.
With sincere gratitude and appreciation to Marvin Sadowski for your generous gift towards the Science Pavilion at the University of Haifa and for your continued and unwavering support for more than 2 decades. We are deeply honored by your friendship.
Oh, thank you so much. It's good to be a Jew. It's good to be a Canadian. And I hope one day God will make me an Israeli. I'm so honored to have been asked to unveil this plaque to commemorate those who have financially supported the important undertaking by the university. Over 30 years ago, I was invited by friends who were I was fortunate enough to meet, and who invited my wife and I to join them for a visit to Haifa University. I knew nothing of it. Not only was I impressed with its physical location and beauty, but also for the fact that it was educating such a large section of the diverse Israeli population. Now, I'm not an academic, far from it. Although I entered my last year of high school at age 15, I was a terrible student. However, like most parents, my words to my children were, do not do as I do, do as I say. I wanted them educated to reasonably assure that they would have a better life. I'm happy to say, mission accomplished. I have 5 wonderful children, 4 of whom are married, 1 who is not, who is with me today, my son. And if any mothers here have a daughter who's beautiful and rich, please introduce her to me later on. My recent marriage, I lost my first wife from cancer, and several years ago I found my second angel, and she's with me today, Victoria, and thank you for loving me the way you do. And I have 13 grandchildren, and I have 1 3/4 great-grandchildren. And the 3/4 will join me at the end of July, who will be the 6th Sadowski generation in Canada. I'm very proud of that. Needless to say, since my age dictates that I need events to happen quickly, I'm overjoyed to say that the new baby will arrive, as I said, in the latter part of July. Now that I've bored you with all this, let me now come back to university. On the first visit, I saw something that left an indelible impression on me. I saw beautiful young people walking hand in hand, side by side, in the halls of this institution, without displaying any animosity towards one another because of race, color, or creed. And I said at that time, maybe, just maybe, and probably not in my lifetime, if we educate our children together, the tensions that we see today will one day disappear, and all peoples will live on earth respecting the beliefs of each other in good health and peace for all. God willing. I believe it could happen, and as a result, I've dedicated myself financially to this university to the extent that I'm able. God bless those that make this magnificent institution so outstanding, and may it continue to show the way. Shalom to all.
Thank you, Mr. Sadowski, for your kind words and support. Over recent years, learning disabilities are becoming widely recognized all around the world. Research in this field developed ways of diagnosing, treating, and assisting those who have learning disabilities. The Edmund J. Safra Brain Research Center for the Study of Learning Disabilities at the University of Haifa is making major national and global contributions in this field. The Edmund J. Safra Foundation has made the center's valuable work possible and shares its belief that every child deserves an opportunity to succeed. Now I wish to invite Vice President and Dean of Research, Professor Michal Yerushalmi, to join us on stage to present a certificate of appreciation to the center. I would also like to ask Professor Syed Khatib to join us on stage representing the Edmund J. Safra Brain Research Center for the Study of Learning Disabilities. Professor Khatib represents the center's outstanding team of researchers who are studying and creating scientific knowledge on the brain's involvement in learning and learning disabilities, discovering how the mind and brain function in education processes.
Okay, now I have to read the certificate, but I must say one sentence before. It's a rare opportunity that I have to read something that dictated for me on a formal occasion and really feel as if it's coming from the bottom of my own heart. So I'm very honored. So in recognition of your activity in brain research, for processes of learning and learning disabilities and implementation of the research without age or language boundaries in Israel and around the world, for promoting awareness and coping with learning disability in the Arabic-speaking sector, and for the vision you have presented over the years. Congratulations on your fruitful research, teaching students, and training the next generation of researchers in this field. Signed, Amos Shapira, President, Amos Gaver, Vice President, and Professor David Faraji, Rector. Oh, you need to take a picture.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Chairman of the Board of Governors, Professor Alfred Tauber, Vice Chairman of the Board of Governors, Professor Manfred Lenstein, Executive Committee Chairman, Mr. Ami Aylan, President of the University, Mr. Amos Shapira, Rector, Professor David Faraji, members of the board, university vice presidents, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues and friends. On behalf of the members of the center and head, Professor Tsvia Brezhnich, I am honored to receive an award of excellence in research. We have been very fortunate, thanks to the generous donation made by the Edmund G. Safra Foundation, to propel knowledge and practice in learning disabilities. Our goal is to create translational knowledge from neurons to neighborhoods. Here, I wish to share with you some of the work we have been committed to over the past few years. First, our work aimed at understanding the neurological, neuropsychological, and behavioral underpinning of a variety of learning disabilities, including reading difficulties in the first and second languages, attention deficits and hyperactivity disorders, math difficulties, and motor problems using advanced brain imaging technologies such as EEG, fMRI, and FNIRS. This knowledge has important theoretical and clinical implications. It's also unique that apprentice practitioners studying in our department, which is part of a faculty of education, are exposed to this cutting-edge research, and it also becomes part of their professional language. This is not typical in other graduate schools of education in the world, and situates our students ahead of the game for the 21st century demands in the classroom. Second, we are especially proud of being the pioneer program in the world which is focused on the unique aspects of the Arabic language and orthography for typical and atypical development. The objectives of this research are twofold. First, to understand the challenges that a population learning to read in a diglossic situation faces. Second, beyond building a neurolinguistic and neuropsychological model of the Arabic orthography, we wish to build clinical bridges to Arabic-speaking populations in various places in the world. We hope this mission will enhance not only science and academic education, but also pluralistic and collaborative endeavors for population living here and around us. The third pillar we are trying to push is the link between research and practice. In both programs, the general and the Arabic-focused program, there has been tremendous effort over the years to create novel assessment and evidence-based intervention tools for children. It's important to mention that before this work, there were no standardized measures by which children could be evaluated. This work is the product of a team effort. We are fortunate to work together, enrich each other, as we represent different disciplines, different cultures, and different backgrounds. This is truly the case in which the whole is more than its parts. The one part we have to acknowledge more than anyone else is the beating heart of the center, our head and leader, Professor Tsvia Brezhnich. She dreamed this center. She dreamed this center, and we are happy to join her on this road. Again, many thanks to the university and the Edmund G. Safra Foundation for making this dream a reality for us and for the children who will benefit from this work. Thank you again for your attention.
Thank you, Professor Khatib. With us here today is Mr. Ariel Greenberg, the Edmund J. Safra Foundation representative in Israel. It is a great pleasure to ask Mr. Greenberg to speak.
Thank you very much. Chairman of the Board of Governors, members of the Board of Governors, President י.ספרא, faculty members, and honored guests. It is truly a pleasure to be with you and join you here today, both for the opening of the Science Pavilion in the presence of the Sadowski family, and in particular, to pay tribute to Professor Brezhnitz and the Edmund J. Safra Brain Research Center for the Study of Learning Disabilities. As we've heard, in a very short amount of time, the center has managed to accomplish a tremendous amount. Developing world-class scholars, generating cutting-edge research, and producing and implementing breakthrough learning programs which can really change people's lives. Your success can and indeed already has begun to affect the lives of thousands of people around the world. People without your assistance and focus would never receive this help which they so desperately need. So for all those who have taken part in this project, you really should feel a great deal of pride and pleasure. Professor Brezhnitz, the Foundation has asked me to say a few words to you in particular, a few words of gratitude. As we know, behind every great accomplishment and achievement, there's a visionary, someone who can imagine how the world can be different and is willing to dedicate their time and effort into turning that vision into reality. Since this center has begun, since its inception, you've been the driving force behind everything that it's accomplished, behind everything that we've heard today. All of it is truly within your merit, b'zchutech. So on behalf of the Edmund J. Safra Foundation, allow me to express our words of gratitude, of thanks, support, and blessing to you, to the entire center, to your dedicated staff. We are truly proud to be your partners and look forward to hearing of wonderful things and your continued success in the future. Thank you very much. Okay.
Wait, unless I can say something. You can say something. It's a major surprise.
Professor Brezhnitz, we want to give you, for a lifetime of achievement, a special award on behalf of the university. So
I'm speechless. I truly don't know what to say. Thank you very, very much.
Truly a well-deserved honor. Good help.
Well, it is very nice, but I really feel that behind me or next to me maybe there is a long line of scientists and other people that are helping me, students. So thank you, and really I feel honored, but I'm not alone. I promise you I'm not alone. Thank you. Thank you, Professor Brezhnitz. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attention.